What's up, everybody? It's Trader AC here. It's April 11th and it's Monday, and it's the start of a great week. So this week, since we are approaching Easter, I believe we have some different trading hours for Good Friday. I'm not sure about Good Thursday, but I know Good Friday is a short day. So technically, we have a short week this week. From my experience, we don't really have a lot of volatility on Good Friday or even Good Thursday. So we have a few more days ahead of, volatility, but you know what? We'll see. We'll see where the market takes us. Okay, so this is what happened today. Today we had a continued downtrend. Okay, and this is what I told the team this morning right before the market opened. I was discussing this briefly with one of our senior analysts, Trader Morano, on Friday, and I told him, I was like, you know what, I think we might gap down on Friday, but I'm not sure. I didn't swing any positions. I stayed cash only because I wanted to enjoy my weekend. And really, what I was talking about was that, yeah, we I saw the gap down that we could, get a gap down into Monday. But you know what? A lot of stuff happens over the weekend and I just didn't want to risk it. It was just too long for me to hold anyway. But what I noticed pre-market is that, great, is that we saw major rejections and we failed to go higher than the pre-market high. Okay, and so really, what did we do? We reclaimed our downtrend. Okay, so we broke under some key levels and we're holding. Obviously, if we held under the lows, we could see more selling into 440 and 437. Okay, now, what do I say about looking at the chart? You always have to look at the bigger picture, right? Okay, so I also took a look at the daily chart, and I noticed that we had an inverted cup and handle that had not been filled. And that was another factor, for me to take into consideration, that, holding under, a key level and all these major rejections, and we can't go higher than the pre-market high. Okay, so really what I was relying on today was just price action and volume. That's it. Okay, so I signaled puts under 44390, calls over 44480, and this is what it looked like pre-market. Okay, and look how we ended up closing. Disgusting. Great day if you guys were in puts. Not so great if you got faked out here at the open and grabbed some calls and were trapped. Okay, now the reason I was bearish was because we could not break over, these key levels here, and really what the candles were telling me was that we're just reclaiming our downtrend. Okay, we have these bearish pin bars, and it's telling you that the sellers are still present. Okay, we failed to go higher. We couldn't do that. And what did we do? We rejected perfectly under 444, and we just reclaimed our downtrend. Okay, and what is a downtrend? Super basic, guys. Okay, if you guys were in our if you guys took our course, you guys would know what it is. But the basics is that when we're in a downtrend, which we were today, we make lower highs and lower lows. Okay, lower high and lower low. Okay, now to avoid getting trapped, always wait for the price to retest. Okay, so let's say we're looking here at this chart and it's SPY, and we hit support here, and then we're making an uptrend. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna squeeze, we're gonna go ahead and break this downtrend, and we're going to ultimately, continue to make new highs. That wasn't so. Okay, that's exactly what happened here at the open. We, trapped the bulls and we continued to make lower lows. Okay, why? Because we couldn't break over our key level. And really what it did, it just triggered panic for the bulls that were here. And then, triggered the price to go lower and just had the bears just step in aggressively. Okay, which by the way, there was a market maker today, and he was on Ask all morning, faking you guys out, making you believe that we're going to hit 447, which we clearly did not. We couldn't even reach 447, but really what that told me was that it was a resistance level that these market makers were looking out for. Okay, and we just could not break over it. And so, those are some factors to consider when you're in, when there's a lot of volatility, so even when you're on uptrend, you can have the market maker on the bid, just trying to fake you out and make you think, oh yeah, we're going to go ahead and make new lows, and we just end up going higher. Okay, but that's another topic to discuss about manipulation, market makers, and price. Okay, right now we're just going to focus on price action and downtrend. Okay, so I was talking about the daily. Look at the daily chart. Okay, it's just, it's just in a very, weak uptrend. There was just no way that we were going to go ahead and, hit 450 at the open. It's just not going to happen. Okay, we just had a lot of weak price action here, which is telling you that the buyers are just gone, and then we're having the the sellers take over. And what did it for me on Friday, trying to identify the downtrend and the gap down, was this right here. Okay, were these pin bars. It was indecisive, but it told me that the buyers weren't even present. And so we tried to go over 450 and hold, and we just couldn't do it. We couldn't even, go over the gap. We filled it 1, 2, 3 times. Okay, and then we stopped, and then we continued to go downward. And so, since we were just, playing within these levels, that's when I told, Trader Morano, I was like, hey, I think we're just going to gap down. I don't think we're going to, go ahead and make a move to the upside. Now, had this candle been full, had it been something like this, like bullish engulfing, then yeah, I would say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take some, some calls, risky. But nevertheless, it's telling me that, we have a lot of buying pressure. And so, seeing a candle like this form over here would have been my confirmation to take some calls, but I was really uncertain, although I saw the channel and I saw, that we're, forming this wedge here. I said, you know what, worst case is that we reject and then we come and pull back and then we just play within the channel. Okay, and so how did I identify today's gap down, which I also talked about right here, right before we closed. I said a lot can happen overnight. What we can see here is a trade within the channel and touch the trend line and bounce. However, we are breaking under a key weekly support level. If we hold, we can see another gap down. So that's exactly what happened. And look where we're at after hours. We closed at 439. I mean, we're not, in swimming in blood, but it is, rather bearish. Okay, we have a lot of things going on in the chart, but again, something that, I can discuss at another time. There's just, so many indications here that are giving me a signal to the downside. Okay, not only is our price action bearish, but also our volume is just extremely bearish. And forget that the Fed spoke today and had data come out. Forget that. I mean, that just, they just added to it. But they just add fuel to the flame, really. And with them speaking, it just made things worse. There's really nothing more we can do about our inflation. We already know where it's headed. It's extremely high. to the point where the feds don't even know what the hell to do at this point. They don't even know what to say. What are they going to say? That they're going to increase it. But, the question is by how much and how often, right? And how much do you see inflation at the end of the year? They were talking about 2%. Now they're talking about 6.6 and counting. They just started talking about it. Okay, so we can see a ridiculous number. We can see, inflation rise as to what it was back in 2008, back in 2013, where it was just disgusting. And what happened, during that time, again, I'm going to repeat it again. We were in a really ugly market at that time, during that era, and it wasn't pretty, and we had low volume. It was just horrible. But you know what? You have to make it work for, for what it is. And so, anyways, this is what I caught with SPY. And let's see. Yeah, and then I just kept alerting, the team that, all the spikes are being shorted and we're still in the downtrend. Look, it was 7:30 and we were hitting 442. Okay. We were like around here somewhere. Okay. And this is where I covered my puts in the morning because I didn't really want to, risk anymore. I was trading same day expiration. And so when your trade, and here's a little tidbit about options. When you have same day expiration and you are expecting your stock to take all day to make the move that you are waiting for, same day expiration day options is not going to work. It's just gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna just put it out there in layman's terms. It's just going to ruin your whole day, because your contract starts to decay as time passes, and as you guys know, time is money. Okay, and so if you trade same day expiration, make it quick. For example, when I trade the open sometimes and I grab the same day expiration, I don't hold more than like, an hour or two into the open. Anything after that, if I do trade, it's going to be a scalp. But, really what I'm doing is I'm buying time, and I just remain patient with this. And I was just waiting, pretty much the whole day to grab another position, whether we were going to break to the upside or to the downside. And so come, 11:30, 12 o'clock my time, I see that we try to, break over this level, and we just could not. We just rejected, and the pressure just started to get heavy. And so we had just a lot of selling pressure. And then I noticed that we were approaching a key level here, support level. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna take it light, but I'm gonna swing some puts overnight. And that's what I did. Okay, so I grabbed some puts. Now, although, we haven't sunk ship completely, you can see that there's a significant downtrend still present, right? Because we're making lower lows. And although we're having these little bases, it's just dropping a base and dropping the price, dropping a base and then another drop. And so we're down about 7.5 points, 1.5 points. If we go in a bigger time frame, we can see that, we can keep selling here. We can either stop, or we can just go ahead and make another touch here to 435-ish or so tomorrow at open, and then bounce off of that level if we get lucky, because tomorrow we do have some data being released, some important data. I believe we have CPI numbers. We have a Fed speaking tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then we have another one speaking after hours, but it doesn't look like it's too related to the market. But really, we do have a few little things coming into play tomorrow pre-market. and after we open. And so, you know, we can either have one or two things. Okay, we can either trade within the channel, consolidate here, or just break this channel and just start a new trend. Okay, and so if this is broken, that just means that the trend is broken. Okay, we can, you know, like I said, we can just keep selling, or we can just keep consolidating here, or maybe we can even get, you know, a short squeeze. Let's say we open up 435, you know, we'll squeeze and then we'll just go ahead and, you know, stay within the channel. Okay, but this is a channel that you guys have to draw out and be, you know, very aware of it, know it, and know how to trade it. Okay. Okay, so that's what I saw with SPY. Let's see, what else did I see? I also traded the SQQQ. Didn't catch a really big move. And I held this, you know, all day. And, you know, I made some points off of it. It wasn't that bad. But then since we were in an uptrend on the SQ, I went ahead and I, you know, took some puts here on Apple. Okay. Apple was really bearish and it continued to sell off. I did see this cross and I did see the downtrend. I didn't want to risk a lot, so I didn't swing any puts here. But look, what goes up must come down. All right, guys, we're not always going to be in this, you know, really nice uptrend. It was short-lived, and once, you know, the big guys were gone here, they started to accumulate, started to sell, and then ultimately bring the price down. Okay, which means that if the market gaps down, we're going to see another gap down here with Apple. Okay, we had a lot of bearish put flow. And it makes sense. I mean, and look, same thing with Microsoft. Okay, I called out Microsoft today under 293.50. Huge engulfing, huh? Huge bearish engulfing. And so I called it out around here somewhere. Okay, I waited. I got a short right here under 292.78 and just kept watching the price pre-market. And then since I saw that we broke my level right before open, I just go ahead, you know, I went ahead and I grabbed some puts and then I covered my position around 287. Didn't want to get greedy. Bank of America, I did not catch Bank of America. The trend was a little tricky, really not interested in trading this for like 30 cents on the dollar. No, thank you. And then JPM, I saw JPM also, but you know what? It's just, I just did not like this setup. I saw that we were on an uptrend, but it was short-lived and then just got really choppy. So you know what? I didn't even pay attention to that. But sometimes it happens, you know? Sometimes you'll have like all these wonderful tickers that you wanna, you know, that you wanna trade, but it just doesn't work out. So JPM was out of the question, Bank of America was out of the question. So the only ones I took was SQQQ, Apple, and Microsoft on the put side. Oh yeah, puts under 291 and puts under here. Okay, calls invalid, invalid, put invalid, and obviously these were invalid. Okay, so had a pretty decent start to the morning. And this just goes to show you guys that you don't really have to be watching all these crazy ass tickers, like 10, 20 tickers at the same time. No, okay, that's not how it works, right? I did notice BA, it hit rock bottom here and it just squeezed. But I did catch some puts under, I was looking at it right here under 176.80. And I saw that we had this huge rejection here. And I just, you know, held these, you know, throughout the whole day. And I covered right before the close. I didn't catch a really big move, but nevertheless, it was like a nice move, you know, to sell into strength. sell into high IV. So I caught that, and they have earnings coming up, so things can get pretty nasty, pretty ugly, pretty fast. Okay, so what am I expecting on SPY tomorrow? What am I expecting from the market? Nothing. Because, you know, again, a lot of things can happen overnight. We could have, I don't know, even if we have bad numbers, somebody could make a comment that's, you know, important to the market, and, you know, guess what? We make a freaking move to the upside. So I'm not expecting much from the market. I am expecting this to gap down to 435 and then have a massive squeeze. But we'll see. Okay, I'm not even going to make a watch list right now because it's not even worth it. Okay, so again, here's another example. I'm telling you guys how the heck these things, you know, these stocks are like priced in. I mean, look at Twitter. We had a clear downtrend, right? And I was gonna grab some shorts here too, but I was like, ooh, didn't work out because we didn't break below our pre-market low, which was at 43. And really what happened was that all the shorts, all the people that were short over the weekend covered their position and just brought the price back up. But I'm still bearish on this because I don't think that, you know, we're gonna keep going higher, being what the market is. And so let's just keep an eye out for some puts. I'm gonna go ahead and keep an eye on this for a continued sell-off. This is just noise in between where we have the shorts covering and just creating, you know, a fake out is really what it is. Okay, because we're still in a downtrend here. And we bounced off perfectly off of the EMAs. But, you know, we still have all of this to fill, you know. Just because we have these support and resistance lines here doesn't mean that it's over or that we're holding over or above. It doesn't matter, okay? What matters is that we need to fill this gap all the way down here. We could even, you know, mess around and come and touch 40. But we need to break under 45.70 to go ahead and have a continued downtrend and have this gap down to the downside. Okay, so I've caught some really nice moves to the downside here. I caught this move here. And then I think, you know, Friday I caught this one right here too also. Short-lived, but you know what, it was a really nice move. And we're gonna have, you know, the price again go ahead and retest and then sell. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and send an order here under 46.30. And I'll just keep it on the watch. Okay, and that's about it. You know, I'm not going to go into a lot of tickers and analysis and this and that, because again, a lot of things can happen overnight. And I can make a list right now and then, you know, have it be invalid by, you know, by market open. So I'm just going to wait. I'm going to be patient. Okay, so here we have futures, we have ES, and we are currently still within the channel. Okay, so we're here, it's do or die. Okay, and with ES, we broke a key resistance level also. And so, you know, we can definitely continue selling or just, you know, skid and trade within the channel. Okay, so that's all I have for today. We'll see what the market brings tomorrow. Other than that, if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, go ahead and hit us up, leave us a comment in the comment section or join our group and send us DM. You know, let's talk some stocks and let's see what you guys see. Did you guys see anything different? Did you catch anything different? Did you, you know, grab calls while I was grabbing puts? You know, let me know what you see, okay? No one's wrong here. Let's just go ahead and discuss, you know, our different views and different opinions that we have that we have on the market. Okay, so I'll catch you guys tomorrow. And if you guys decide to trade tomorrow, just go ahead and focus on a lot of price action, volume, and make sure to mitigate your risk at all times and lock in those profits. Okay, because that's the most important thing. Alrighty, so you guys have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.